All right, hello and welcome to Netflix vs. Cinema, the podcast that goes to the cinema each week, sees some things that rates them out of 5, stays at home, watches a couple of things, rates them out of 5, puts them up against each other and sees where money has been better spent this week. My name is Tosin and I am the host somewhere in the middle of the country in a place called Bromsgrove, in the middle of the country being the United Kingdom. And joining me as always on the Isle of Wight is Shaun Harris.
Hello!
Yes, we do not have a Sharon and we do not have a Shaun for... I think one of them is pretty much just enjoying the weather, and the other one is probably not enjoying the weather because she is in an office somewhere. But Shaun and I are here. We are going to take you through, and we're going to take you through things that we have seen in the cinema. Well, so Shaun, in the cinema, I think that there isn't that much out there.
There's not much, no.
There's not much out there, but you have seen what is one of the few games in town, which I keep hearing people saying Nick Cage as you've never seen him before. What is it? What have you seen?
I saw Longlegs.
Longlegs. All right.
Oh,
cool.
yeah, Longlegs.
Yeah, and I think that when people say Nick Cage as you've never seen him before, I think that is quite a claim because you're going to do like a film quiz later, and we've seen Nick Cage in a lot of different ways and a lot of different weird ways as well. So Longlegs is one of these films where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be like Shaun. No spoilers because I want to see this at some point.
Yeah, I won't give any spoilers at all. I just give you. Well, not too much on the story, but we're just
cool. And also on the cinema side of things, there is a film that is still in some cinemas at the moment called Hundreds of Beavers, and this is a film that
I wouldn't like to Google that.
Do not Google Hundreds of Beavers. I have not done it, but I do not. I just don't. And so it's Hundreds of Beavers, and this is a film that in our newfound status as bona fide people of the bona fide inner film circle, we get like emails saying, "Oh, do you want a screener? Do you want to come to this screening?" We had an invite to go to the screening of this film. We couldn't, but I got a screening link and they sent it to me. So it's still in cinemas. It's coming out. It's going to be released on home video next week, but I think I'm going to put it on the cinema side of things because it's still in cinemas right now. And that's Hundreds of Beavers. And on the home side of things, I know that I've had something that I wanted to speak about for ages, but we could never find the time to fit it in. And that is Dead Ringers on Prime Video. So this is Rachel Weisz playing twins in a remake of the film that was done in the 80s with David Cronenberg and Jeremy Irons playing two characters, or playing twins. So I've got that, and I think I've also got something called Wedding Season on Disney Plus. But Shaun, I know that there's something called Ban The Video Nasties, but I can't find the actual title of it. So I can't find the actual title of it. So it's a bit. I'm kind of like we might
that one.
Ban
the Sadist videos.
Ban the Sadist videos. Ban the Sadist videos. And this is something that you found in your YouTube, and sort of like your YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the thing is, I spend quite a lot of time on like YouTube and what have you, because I find it. I don't know. There's lots of little things, and it can send you down a rabbit hole sort of thing.
Yep.
So
just be careful. Just be careful you don't get radicalized.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do that sort of stuff. As I say, for me, it's more. I know this probably sounds a bit thing, but I like to. It's funny. You think I'd watch movie reviews, wouldn't you? But I don't. I watch like histories about battles or like Attila the Hun or.
No, not necessarily. No, sure. I mean, we make movie reviews, so why would we want to watch other people's? We don't deal with other people's opinions. Yeah. It's all about our opinions.
That's for sure.
All right, cool. So let's kick off. Let's kick off with Longlegs, and let's sure. Tell me about Longlegs. Tell me what. I've heard the basic idea of this, but tell me what it is and tell me what you thought.
Okay, so basically it's like I mean, I think it's been billed as. I knew nothing about it when I saw it, but it's been billed as like a Silence of the Lamb sort of thing with the FBI detective.
Yeah, there seems to be that influence in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So these these families end up sort of the husbands kill, and there's been a few, and it happens at certain times and it's just an investigation. And the detective, you'll probably have to help me out with the actress. The detective,
Maika Monroe.
So the part she plays, she's like a bit of a psychic. She's sort of bit like Judge Anderson, I guess, but not, intuitive, and she can work things out and stuff like that.
Oh, George Anderson from the Judge Dredd comics.
Yeah. So
when you said that, I was like, "Who's? I don't know that actor."
sorry, yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, So she's got this intuition that, and so yeah, so it's basically an investigation, and
Yep.
there's other police involved, and they say, "Oh, what's your feelings? What blah blah blah," and she does a lot of things. She does a lot of research. She's very, very focused on her job.
Yep.
And she plays a great part. She really, really does play a terrific part, in the fact that, I don't know, she just plays a really, really. She convinced me that she was very, very, not timid's not the word, but almost Asperger's or something. Something along those lines.
So
Not
the
very,
spectrum,
not very sociable, not very good with people. And I'm not going to give any spoilers because I know you want to see it. So
yeah.
Anyway, she investigates and she finds out more and more things and what have you. So that's basically the story.
A lot of the stuff that I've heard is that it's kind of like it's a serial killer thing, and they're trying to figure out whether is there a supernatural element to this, or is there isn't, or anything like that. And it's no secret that Nicolas Cage is in this film. That
Nicolas Cage is in this film.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is in this film, and he plays the titular character. But they've kept him back from all of the publicity. Like, they haven't been doing interviews with him or anything like that, because apparently when you see him, it's quite a revelation. So, leaving spoilers out and everything like that, what did you think of this?
Okay, so first of all, I don't know, but I think it must have been shot, a lot of it, in that natural light, like The Revenant was.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that it was, I don't know, it was quite strange lighting technique, for me anyway. But I don't know if that was the case.
Yep.
And so the things that I thought about this, Cage, he was obviously enjoying himself in this movie. Let's just say you could see he was probably having a lot of fun. He's not in it a huge amount.
Yep.
But when he is, it's quite effective. I knew because the opening scene, I won't give any spoilers from the opening scene because it's not, but I sort of picked up pretty much where it was going for me personally. I pretty much picked up. I thought, okay, so this, I was sort of, I thought one thing, and I was so close that I was practically right. But so I put it that way. So it was quite predictable where it was going. Started off really, really well. Very atmospheric. Great acting, I have to say. Really, really top. Acting.
Yeah, Michael Monroe is really good.
Yeah, she convinced me that but as I say, I think she would have been, I guess, if she is that sort of clairvoyant-y sort of thing, they're all very, very, generally, they are quite strange, quite weird, aren't they?
Well, I don't know.
Really?
I never met a real one, so I'm not going to tell you.
Well, that's it. So, yeah. What else can we say? I found it a little bit long. It was a little bit long, I thought. Yep. I know it's quite a short one, but I found it a little bit long, and I wish it had moved at a slightly faster pace, because there was very much, like I say, in the natural light, it sort of was quite a...
Well, does it look like, when you talk about natural light, does it look like it's almost a bit gritty, the way it's shot? It's not like a glossy Hollywood thing.
It's not like grainy. It's not like grainy or anything. It's just a dark light. Like, I don't know if you wake up on an overcast day, and you're like,
yeah.
Very, very bleak and dismal. It was very, very dismal. It wasn't very washed out. Wasn't a lot of colour, really.
I don't know why, but when you said that, I immediately associated that with films filmed in Vancouver. I do not know. I don't know why. That, like, Overcast, I just thought, it must have been shot in Vancouver. I'm like, I don't know why that is.
It is Canadian. I think it is shot in Canada. I think it is a Canadian film, isn't it?
Okay, let's have a look. Production. It was filmed in Vancouver.
Well done.
It was filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah, it was just, so to sum up the whole thing, it had elements. I did find it a little bit boring. The acting was good. And as I say, it was a bit of a surprise because it wasn't quite really a horror film and everything. So, so this would get a 3. This would get a 3, I think. For me, this would be a 3. maybe a 3 minus, a low 3, but
Okay.
it was okay, predictable, should we say?
3 stars for Longlegs. The victim of us watching way too many films. So,
Yes.
now, you might have wondered what that lovely music was. So we're recording on Zoom, and we have a timer on Zoom. And obviously, if we try and give ourselves 5 minutes to finish a film review, and apparently that's the music that Zoom has now started using to, and it's kind of like, it made me immediately think of the Oscars. You know when people are talking for too long on the Oscars, and then they play them off the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. I think they're essentially saying, and they're
Also,
like,
I think there's a thing on about that with time wise now, which they must do. But like at festivals, someone told me that they have like a light thing that comes up that says when they have to sort of finish. So
well, for the performance, yeah,
give it a
I
performance,
believe that. Yeah, to the all right, cool. So that is it for Longlegs. 3 stars for Longlegs, and now we go over to Netflix and Friends on the side, and we're going to talk Prime Video. And Prime Video, there is a show on there that has been out for probably a year and a half, maybe even 2, and it's called Dead Ringers. And Dead Ringers, some of you might remember Dead Ringers. You might remember the title, and that is because there was a film made by, I'm pretty sure it was a David Cronenberg film with Jeremy Irons in it, and he plays 2 twin brothers. It's the Mantle twins, Beverly and Elliot Mantle, who they run like a gynecological practice, but some of their practices are a little bit dodge, and this stars Rachel Weisz as Beverly and Elliot Mantle. So they've switched them around, so now they're women, but they're women who are still gynecological stuff, the gynecological doctors. They're trying to get funding to build a center because they want to change the way women's health is done. And in the first episode, you meet them, and you figure that these are 2 different people. Like, they have this sort of like codependent relationship where they do things. Sometimes they might go on dates and they'll swap. So one of them will go on the date for the other one because it's kind of like how there's a line in the first episode where one of them goes, "Oh, do you like her? Do you like her?" It's like, "Don't worry, I'll get her for you." Because one of them is like really, really outgoing and everything, and the other one is a bit more timid and doesn't really know how to put herself out there. So they sort of like switch around and do all these kind of things, but they live together. They do all these things, and then one of them starts a relationship with an actress, and the actress says, your whole thing is weird. I don't think this is right. And so starts trying to come in between them and take them apart. And there's this weird psychological thriller about, are we going to take them apart? What they're going to be like? Are they actually going to get the money? Is what they're trying to do about humans, what they're trying to do with women, right? Is it actually ethical? And there's a whole thing where they have like a lab assistant who keeps going, "You're brilliant, but I'm not sure you can do this. I think we're going to lose our license over this." And it carries on for about 6 episodes. And with this, Rachel Weisz is brilliant because she puts in 2 different performances throughout the whole thing, where you can usually watch it and tell almost straight away which twin she's been, without it being something, without being as simple as, okay, this one wears glasses, that one has a ponytail. It's not as simple as that, although they do that sometimes, where they do one twin prefers to wear her hair one way and the other one doesn't. And it goes on for a while, and it has this whole thing where it seems to be making satirical comments about like the opioid crisis in the U.S., the state of healthcare in the U.S., all that stuff. But it gets weird. There's one particular episode that seems to be all about a mental breakdown. There's bits I started wondering, okay, why am I watching this? Where's this going? What are we doing here? And the final episode, the final episode, just kind of like, what? Who's it? No, but I'm not sure that would work, and I'm not sure why you're doing that. What is the point of that being done? And it's great performances, especially Jennifer L. So you have Rachel Weisz, you have Jennifer L. She plays this like the one who's giving them money, and she's deliciously horrible. She's deliciously horrible, and her whole family is just weird because her family have money and they do all this sort of weird stuff with it. All in all, I think I would give Dead Ringers a 3 out of 5 because as good as the performances were, I thought it was a bit weird.
Weird, yeah. I think when people play twins or characters the same, the best I've ever seen, I think, was what was the Tom Hardy film about the Krays called?
Legend.
Legend, because you could tell. I don't know. He did that so well. You could actually, you knew, even if all
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
film, you knew which one was which.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I still, because I remember that film was released around about the time that Oscar So White, the hashtag Oscar So White started trending and everything. And I still remember that, yeah, it might be a controversial thing to say, but I remember thinking that the performance that got me the most, how did this not get an Oscar nomination, was Tom Hardy in Legend.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
I remember going, good Lord, look at what the guy's doing, this is amazing. But
yeah.
but yeah, 3 stars for Dead Ringers. I think
And is that on? That's on Amazon, is it?
yeah, it's on Amazon
Amazon,
Prime,
yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
I would recommend watching it, but there's some bits where if I'm going to be honest, it lost me.
Right.
There's bits where it lost me, where I was like, I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know why that is happening. I don't get it. And but I'm sure somebody out there would be able to school me on exactly why I got that wrong. And so that is it. 3 stars for Dead Ringers on Amazon Prime. Now let us go to cinemas, and the film we spoke about that is still in cinemas, and this is Hundred of Beavers.
I'm
Hundreds of
interested in this one. I've heard nothing about this one.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
Sean. Honestly, this film, this is a film that because obviously when I'm watching films nowadays and I'm thinking what am I going to say about them on the podcast, I usually start thinking, will the others like it? Will the others like it? Oh, is this a Sharon film? Is this a Holly film? Or is this a Shaun film? And with you, Sean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I literally don't know whether you like it or not. It could go either way. Because
Is it sort of? I'm assuming it's not an animated film. Is it? I don't know nothing about it. Is it like
it
like Gopher? Like there was that film called, I can't remember what it was. There was a golfing movie with like a little gopher thing.
oh, Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, yeah.
There's bits of it like that. That's the
Right.
thing. So this film, you can see that it's low budget. It's massively experimental. It's kind of like it's all in black and white. It's all in black and white, so show in black and white, and it's pretty much a silent movie. The only thing you hear like oh ah ooh oh shh.
Oh,
This is
wow.
but it's pretty. But apart from that, the silent movie with like the sort of like a silent movie score, and it starts off and there's this whole musical number about this guy and Applejack and how he makes Applejack cider and all that kind of stuff, and it's all like so essentially it's set around about the time of the Old West. But due to a whole bunch of beavers, this guy's apple cider business gets destroyed, and then it becomes a sort of survivalist comedy where he's trying to do all these things. But it's like a live action Looney Tunes. So
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
that's the closest thing I can compare this film to is a live action Looney Tunes. So the Applejack dude is pretty much Wile E. Coyote because his thing gets burnt down. He's trying to survive. He's like freezing and all that, and then even though beavers are in the title, there's other animals where he's trying to catch rabbits. He's trying to catch rabbits because he's hungry, and they do the whole even down to the whole thing where he sees like 2 rabbits walking, and then they immediately turn into like pork chops as they're walking. He's like,
That
and
sounds great. I
licking.
like the Wile E. Coyote movies.
Yeah,
What? So is he try? He's trying to sort of catch these things and all that, and
he's
they're taking the Mickey.
he's trying to catch these things and it keeps going wrong, and this. But the thing is like this. But the thing is, the people he's trying to catch, like the rabbits, the beavers, the wolves, all these different animals, they are played by people in costumes. So, so that's what like when you talk about the Caddyshack thing. They're essentially people, so grown-up people wearing full-length costumes, like the kind of things that you would get if you went and said, "I want a chipmunk costume from a fancy dress shop," and that they put that on, and that's what they are. They're just trudging around the snow and everything like that, and he's doing all these coming up with all these schemes of how he's going to catch these animals and all that, and it just becomes and it's about an hour and a half long, but it's just a series of vignettes after vignettes of, oh, let's try this to catch this animal. Let's try that to catch this animal. Okay, if I do this and I catch these animals, I can catch all fish. I can do if there's, and he goes, okay, let's use this as bait. Fish don't want that. Let's use that as bait. Fish don't want that. Oh my God, that's what the fish want. Okay, let's use that as bait. Let's go and get all the, and then there's a subplot that comes in where he keeps going to a tradesman, like sort of tradesman and or this frontier tradesman who has a daughter, and he's like, "Oh, I'd like to marry the daughter," and then the guy's like, "No, if you want to marry my daughter, you got to bring a lot more in than you bring." And then there's almost like a video game thing where you see that, oh, I want an axe, but to get an axe, I need to bring like 2 beavers and a rabbit. So you see him like trying to get this, and then there's this tally going on in the corner, like ding, ding, ding. When he gets the different things going on, it's like you can feel it's inspired by silent movie stars like Buster Keaton and stuff like that, and it is weird. I think to be honest with you, it drags a bit as a short. Maybe if this had been like a 10-minute short or something like that, it would have been excellent, and you would have been like, "Oh my god, look at the inventiveness of show," because there is a lot of invention on show. There's a lot of invention on show. But over an hour and a half, I was beginning to go, okay, cool, I get that. Okay, that's quite good. That's quite good. Okay, finish it now. Please finish it. That kind of thing. Just wanting to see how it gets, and it ends up, even with this low budget, doing an action sequence, which is Man versus Beavers. It's a bit like, that's what it made me think of. You remember the TV show Man versus Bee? That I think you watched.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, that's Rowan Atkinson, yeah.
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson. A bit like that, but imagine an even lower budget. And imagine so they've done some bits where they've have people running around and things. They have some bits where there's like animated stuff over the stuff you can see on screen, and it carries on. Shaun, it could go either way with this or with you, man. You could love it, or you could think it's absolute I might have to check it nonsense.
Out. Is it going to get a cinema release or?
It has had a cinema release.
Right, okay.
So it is in cinemas at the moment, but I think that you would only find it in somewhere like Pool. I'm going over this weekend, so if it's on, I might try and catch it. Yeah,
so.
I do not think you'll find this on the Isle of Wight. I think that it's going to be a very limited release. Okay, cool. And I'm being played off. That's it. My time's up, everybody. But for Hundreds of Beavers, I would give it I think I'm going to give it a high 3. I think even for the simple fact that it's trying to do a live action Looney Tunes, and I cannot stress how much that's exactly, even down to how Wile E. Coyote would always fall down a ravine, and it was like it's like a regular thing. There's even a regular motif of something like that with this guy with falling through the ice. So
I used to love Wile E. Coyote. I used to love it when he'd like set the traps, they wouldn't work, and he'd go and go. Tap on it and then spring it.
Don't worry, Shaun. The spirit of that is alive and well in this film. Is alive and well in this film.
We'll see if we can see that. I'll let you know.
All right, cool. And now we go into the final thing we're going to talk about this week, before obviously a Nicolas Cage quiz, which is Ban The Sadist videos. Now, this is something that you saw on YouTube, and I'm guessing...
No, this is Amazon.
It's Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, Amazon, so it's a documentary about video nasties.
About the video nasties, about the whole era, and it is on Amazon. So
all right, cool.
Yeah,
all right, go far away.
Okay, so basically, it is what it says. Obviously, when videos came out in the 80s, they were, like unrestricted, and there was this mad that all of a sudden. The thing is with countries, isn't it? Once the press get hold of it, these have caused, deaths, murders, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you've got this whole clamour that some of these videos have got to be banned. We've got to get rid of them. Margaret Thatcher brings in about the obscene publication things.
Yeah.
Shops are getting raided. I think the funniest one was they're obviously talking to producers and shop, the people who used to run the shops and distributors, and this one they tried to do him, but he said, I got raided once, and they looked, and Apocalypse Now, they took the video away and said, that's a video nasty. Apocalypse Now. And it was just all about the hysteria. Obviously you had good old Maggie Thatcher, who was on the throne at the time, should we say?
Yep.
Throne, but she was up there, and you've got it was a lady that used to be with the glasses. I can't remember her name. She was always
Mary Whitehouse.
Mary Whitehouse, yes. So
I was thinking, what said the 1980s that we're talking about, censorship, and I was like, Mary Whitehouse is going to have to show up. She's going to have to show up.
She is, yeah. So Mary Whitehouse is there, and they showed these old clips in amongst some of the producers talking about not the producers, the distributors, saying, these and quite often the covers on these videotapes were, you know, nothing like the
Then the actual
films,
film,
and it
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah.
and there was so he said so this like people would try to rush out to see a film and they were terrible. He said they were absolutely the most low budget, terrible, awful films you could ever think of. That when you know that he said people wanted to go. You know, there was a whole Nazi exploitation thing. There was a whole series of them, and they got banned. They got and there was quite a lot of people that actually got prosecuted. Quite a lot of people in the shops that got prosecuted for films which basically were
for indecency.
For indecency, yeah, for you know having these films which were basically rubbish. You know, a lot of them were absolutely nothing at all. So, yeah, if you're interested in that era, if you are interested in that era of the video nasties, and I know some people are, I've got a couple of friends, Happy Johns. You know, I mean, personally, I've seen a few. I don't know if you've ever seen any, Toes, but like, and they are pretty awful, really. If I could, I'd like maybe one day we could do a whole thing on the video nasties. Like,
well, the thing with video nasties is like that's a phrase that I didn't understand until I'd never even heard until I got to the UK, and I think I've seen bits of some of these video nasties where their whole thing, I think the whole marketing strategy was be the most salacious you can be. Do something that's out there. Do something that just gets. It doesn't matter whether the film's good. Just do something like, oh my god, there's a bit of this thing where this woman get around this guy and eat his liver, and I think I've tried to watch a couple of them. I just kind of thought, nah, life's too short, and go on.
I think what it is as well. They were saying that in some cases there was some really good films that got lumped in with the bad films.
Oh yeah, well, like Apocalypse Now and stuff like
that. I couldn't think of any offhand because it's not so recent in the memory. But you know, it said there were some films really good, arty films or you know films of a genre that just actually got banned because of the title. You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, which it always does, is the press were a lot to blame for it. You know, like I think the Chucky movies. I know that might have been a bit later, but that was blamed for, you know. So they blamed everything was blamed. Anything that went wrong was blamed. And I think there was some sort of incident where this one in the thing, but I remember there was an incident. It said, "Oh, this was done because it might have been a Hungerford thing," but oh yeah, they watched. You know, the press, the Sun, which was like had all this stuff, and he never, you know, when it all came out, the truth all came out, there's nothing of the sort. He never even had a video player, he never even had a TV, you know. There was, and it was just so obviously you got the hysteria, and it just shows you how with misinformation people can get ripped up into a hysteria, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's kind of similar. The same way the video nasties, all they cared about was like, you know, whipping people, was like, just do something that's like, you know, salacious in there. I think the Sun were doing exactly the same thing. They
that's true.
They didn't care about whether it was true or not. They just wanted to, as long as you just whip people into a frenzy, that sells.
That's it.
That sells newspapers.
Yeah. Okay, all right, go. So for this one, I would say, if you're really interested in that era, it would be of interest. You know, if as a documentary goes. So I'd have to give this a straight 3 stars, you know, so it would either be if you were interested in it, it's a good watch, but otherwise, you know, it's 3 stars. So I'll give this one a 3.
3 stars. 3 stars then for Ban The Sadist videos. And you might have figured out by listening to those 4 things that it's a 3-star kind of week. So, it's a 3 star, so that's it. We lose Shaun, we lose Holly, and all of a sudden we end up with a 3-star kind of week.
3-star kind of week, yeah. So, it's been a bit up and down the past couple of weeks, which has been quite good. So it's about time we had a pretty medium week.
Yep. So I'd say there's nothing that we see that we would recommend for different reasons with different caveats. Go watch stuff. Go watch everything that we've spoken about this week. So, and now, I don't know how this is going to work for the audio, if anybody's listening to audio, but Shaun has a Nicolas Cage quiz. I think I'm going to try and cut this up and put it on our YouTube channel and probably our TikTok channel as well to see if you can guess the.
I'll give it a. This is quite. So this shot, he's got a snakeskin jacket on. This should be pretty easy to do. Sunglasses, snakeskin jacket.
Snakeskin jacket, standing by a desert road. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to say Wild at Heart.
And you'd be right. You'd be exactly right.
That's
Well done,
Nicolas Cage in
Tosin.
Wild at Heart with Laura Dern, and I can't remember who directed that.
These might be a little bit tougher for you.
Ooh, ooh. So
Black and white
that's
film.
Matt Dillon. I
Yes.
think that's Matt Dillon and Nicolas Cage. Oh,
Benny's Billiards.
Benny's Billiards. Is that Drugstore Cowboy?
No, no,
Uh, it's not Drugstore Cowboy. It's not Earth Girls Are Easy.
no.
Peggy
It's
Sue
a
got married?
No, no, no.
Okay.
It's a film called Rumblefish.
Oh, yeah, that's like an early Francis Ford Coppola one, isn't
Early
it?
ones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay.
so next one, Soda Jerk. I don't know if you'll get this one either, but Soda Jerk. This film's a comedy, teen sort of comedy film.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I looking at it. I was straight away thinking teen comedy, and the only one I can think of is Peggy Sue Got Married.
No, no, this one. It's in the vein of like Animal House sort of thing. So it's like a coming of age thing. So yeah, this.
It's
I'll
not
tell you
House
who's in this. Sean Penn.
Bachelor.
Early version of Sean Penn's in this. So,
Early Sean Penn, Nicolas Cage. Fast Times at Richmond High.
yes, it is. Well done, that man. Well done, that man. Okay, now this is a
Oh.
great movie. This was
Oh, I know this one. He plays himself henchman. It's got a 3-word title.
and it's
Kiss
got
of Death.
Kiss of Death. Yeah, and it's
Kiss
also
of-
got Samuel L. Jackson in this as well. This is
So
I
I
really
remember Samuel. I didn't realize Ving Rhames was in the film though.
No, I know. That's it.
I don't remember it because I remember that the film came out. It had David Caruso in it, and he plays like some sort of mob boss. He's constantly in a white singlet, white tracksuits, and all that. And he most of the scenes. I remember him in this film just working out and like doing like pull-ups and everything like that. But yeah, so yeah, that's Kiss of Death, Nicolas Cage.
Bit easier this one.
The
easier this
bees.
one.
The
So,
bees.
the bees.
The bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we say remake, people.
It's a remake. It's a remake. It has to do with bees. This was. I think it was. This might be the beginning of when Nicolas Cage started becoming a meme.
Yeah.
It might be because there was the bees meme, and if you've seen that is from the remake of The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage, where some people said he seemed to stop caring. Depending on how you look at it, he's either stopped caring or he just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna start going all out and giving over the top performances. But yeah, The Wicker Man.
Okay, this one might be a bit more difficult for you.
Ooh.
This was a film that I actually saw on a plane. So I didn't see this at cinema. It was one of the ones that were on a plane. It's a place that I've visited a few times. So
It looks a bit recent. I mean, looking at well, his face and his hair.
okay. So yeah, this is probably the toughest. Well, I don't know. The next one might be tough.
Do you know if this had a cinema release or whether this was just straight to video?
I don't actually know because I saw this on a plane coming over and I just remembered it. I really, really enjoyed it. So, what's the city? There's a city that I visit quite often. So that's
Vegas.
No. Think more.
Oh, Bangkok Dangerous.
Bangkok Dangerous. Yes. Did it have a cinema release?
It did have a cinema. Yeah, Bangkok release did have a cinema release.
Dangerous.
Yeah,
I obviously missed it in the cinema then, but
yeah.
But what a great movie it was. I really, really enjoyed that. Nice one for you here.
Ha 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 ha. So this is Nicolas Cage with glasses, a sort of like a cardigan, a green collared shirt, and a dodgy mustache.
Dodgy mustache, yeah.
Standing in front of a wall of assault rifles, and this is kick ass.
That's kick ass. Yes, exactly right. Okay, so this one, I really enjoyed this movie. Really, really enjoyed this movie.
I think this is Nicolas Cage behind the wheel of a car. It is, and that could be a lot of things. But from the hair and the beard, I'm going to say he's looking at Amber Heard in this shot, and that is Drive Crazy.
Drive Angry.
Drive Angry. That was the one. Yeah, Drive. Yeah,
that's it. Okay, so how about this one?
Ooh.
I like this film as well.
Oh, I think I know this one. This one. So it's him at a breakfast table with a kid and with, I think that's Maura Tierney in the background, who looks to be playing his wife. I think that this is pretty much a remake of It's a Wonderful Life. It's The Family Man.
No.
Oh,
No,
wait. If it's not, is it Matchstick Men?
no.
Oh.
No, this is more of a horror parody thing.
Oh, no, that isn't Mauritania. That's Selma Blair. It's Mom and Dad.
Mum and Dad, yes.
It's Mom and Dad, yeah.
It's Mum and Dad. Yeah, that was another film. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. I like the whole vibe on that. Okay, and so we've got one more. This might be a little bit different. So, what about this one? This could be a bit of a bit out there. So, let's just say
it looks out there. Now, if the words Fu Manchu mean anything, this looks like Nicolas Cage. Knowing him is probably like a sort of satirical take on like sort of a Fu Manchu character. It looks like he's playing that character, and or some sort of like budget Ming the Merciless. So is this him actually playing Fu Manchu?
This is him actually playing Fu Manchu. Yeah. So as I say,
what film is that?
Coming in a bit of left field. Yeah. So
what's the name of this film then?
No, it's not actually a film. It's in a trailer. It's in a trailer. It was in a Grindhouse trailer. So that's a trailer for Grindhouse. So it's from one of the trailers, which was Werewolf Women of the SS. And I thought I'd end on that because of the video nasty connotation.
Oh, good stuff, Shaun. Good stuff.
So yeah. So this is actually from one of the trailers in the Grindhouse film. So,
yeah, because I was thinking that it does look very, very sort of like piss takey, and I would imagine that this would have been something that either it would have been a Grindhouse film or it would have been like one of the films that he supposedly starred in something like the unbearable weight of massive talent that they would have. So, all right, cool, good stuff. Thank you very much for.
I hope you like that. I quite enjoyed that one.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sort of like working the brain and trying to see Nicolas Cage through the ages. So, thank you anyway for listening to us so far. If you listen to this, the audio version, and you're wondering what the heck was that about, what are they talking about, this Nicolas Cage stuff, have a look for us on TikTok, Netflix vs. Cinema, on YouTube, Netflix vs. Cinema, to see that quiz and see what it is that we're on about. Until next week, when we should hopefully have the other two back, and Shaun will finish watching The Boys. I should have finished watching The Boys, and what's the other thing I was going to watch with Holly? Douglas is cancelled. We will see what's in cinemas.
Yeah,
ooh, Twisters.
I'm going for an operation on the Wednesday, so I might be a bit.
So we might be down to Shaun next week if that's the case. Thoughts and prayers, Shaun. Thoughts and prayers.
The chances are I won't be going anywhere, so I'll probably turn up. I try and watch a couple of things a weekend, so we'll see what goes on.
Good stuff, Shaun. You will be welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And but as I said, thoughts and prayers, Shaun. Thoughts and prayers.
Okay.
So until next week, it is goodbye from me,
and it's a goodbye from me.
And if Sharon and Holly were here, I'm really sure they'll say it's a goodbye from them as well.
I'm sure they would.
Thanks so much for joining us. Chat to you online. Bye.